Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. So we are going to have a discussion on the Lord is playing with all. So play of the Lord, that is the topic of discussion for this glorious morning. It is Akshaya Tritiya and Eid. This is a great day and we are sitting here in Keonjhar Relic Center. So naturally it is an awe-inspiring topic. The Lord is playing with all. So that is the topic of discussion for this glorious morning. Here we know the two great messages from Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo defines God in his own natural style, in his natural language. It is a magnanimous, a magnificent definition from the Lord. The eternal child playing an eternal game in the eternal garden. That is what we can derive from the thing. Suppose a child is playing a game in the garden. That is child, it is his play. But the thing is that this child to be the God, only in three places the same word eternal has been used. The child is playing a game in the garden. So here, before the child, before the game, before the garden, the eternal has been, of course, added. The eternal child playing an eternal game in the eternal garden, that is what the God. Initially, it was, of course, a child, human child, but when the eternal, that great term has been prefixed, then you can find it is God. And another definition we find when Sri Aurobindo is describing God and nature. There itself, God and nature is capital N and God is capital G. That is a glorious definition from the Lord. God and nature are like a boy and a girl. God and nature are like a boy and a girl at a play and in love. That is a great definition. At play and with love. So here we are going to focus few lines from the mother. How really mother says that the Lord plays with all this. So when one has the positive experience of the one and only existence of the Supreme, that realization must be there. Positive experience, not only experience, that a positive experience. When one has the positive experience of the one and the only existence of the Supreme, one and only existence of the Supreme, when somebody is having the positive experience, and that is only the Supreme playing to himself instead of being something disquieting or unpleasant or troubling. It is the on the contrary a sort of total security. That is what. So I'll try to quote it again. When one is having the positive experience, what the one and only existence of the Supreme, then that all is only the Supreme playing with to himself. Supreme playing to himself instead of being something disquieting or unpleasant or troubling. It is a contrary, on contrary, a sort of total security. God is playing with him, with playing with himself. Supreme is playing with himself. That is total security. So again, mother quotes, the one reality is that is the Supreme. That is the only reality. Supreme. This is the final truth, absolute truth. There is no other truth than the Supreme. He is the utmost truth, absolute truth. So the one reality is the Supreme, and all this is the game he plays to himself. What is we see? These are the game he is playing to himself. The Supreme, multiplicity of the eternal, divine. He wanted to become many. He was one. He became. He wanted to become many. He was one and he wanted to multiply himself into many. So this is multiplicity. Here he plays to himself. I find that much more confirming than the opposite view. He is playing with himself to himself, and after all, this is only certitude that all this may become something marvelous. Again, mother tries to explain in her own style, own language, own ideology, own idea. So you will see there is a moment when one cannot bear oneself or life unless one takes the attitude that the Lord who is everything. This attitude must be there. Without this attitude, without it thought, nothing can be done. That actually, that attitude, the Lord who is everything. You see, this Lord, how many things He possesses. He plays with all this. He plays. That is what that He plays with all these things. Already yesterday we had a brief discussion on that only. That on the to the unbeliever who believes not in the God. Actually, you will find something very miraculous, very interesting to somebody who is having that you can find that he is taking him in his own way. Very interestingly, taking it, gathers him in his arms, presses him in his heart, and laughs in his face. To the unbeliever, that is what we have seen yesterday. And of course, on the contrary, we have seen how long it will take to possess the God, to find the God. That has been also explained by Ramakrishna, and Mother has quoted. It needs something like 3 days, 3 hours, and 3 minutes. Time could vary between 3 days, 3 hours, and 3 minutes. 3 days for those who are very slow people, 3 hours for those who are a little bit swifter, and 3 minutes for those who are used to it. So divine is there, you can find, but thing is that that willingness must be there, that aspiration must be there, that awareness must be there. Here, Sri Aurobindo, Mother quotes, he plays at changing the positions, and when one sees this whole one, he feels illimitable marvel, and one sees this is a whole illimitable marvel, and that almost all our most wonderful aspiration, all these are quite possible and will ever be surpassed. Though then one is comforted, otherwise existence is inconsolable. So finding the existence of God, you must know He is playing with all. He is there. The world is God fulfilled in outwardness. Wherever you find darkness means that absence of light there itself. This is whenever you feel something saggy, something depressed or dissatisfied. It is that you are turning from the idea of God. You are turning away from God. So you have been turned to your negative characteristic. But it is there. You can relieve. You can find. So the present way of being is a past. The present way of being is a past which truly should no longer be there. And while the other, at last, it is for this that there is a world. That confrontation, that certitude will come. At last, you will find. At last, it is for this. There is a world, and everything else remains quiet as concrete and real. It does not become hazy. It is just a concrete, just a real. But it becomes divine because the divine. It is divine who plays. It is his, because human play, that is play, but divine plays, that is Leela. We messed up the 3 times we have seen, we have experienced the divine play as of course a Leela. Then the next page we are going to have a very brief description, and Lord is staging a play. It is his Leela. He is staging a Leela. When you can remember that Leela, while describing that Narada and this, about the Swayamvar, that of that Kanya that is created by the dear Lord. So Narada intended to get married and to have a settled family and all. So he asked the Hari Rupa. So because that Swayamvar, he will go and attract the lady Mohini Kanya. So at that he will try to get married, have the family and all without moving here and there. That is a very a tragic affair, very tedious matter. So actually finally he failed because Hari Rupa, that monkey shape it was given. Hari means that Harana that attracts, that hijacks, and the second Hari is of monkey. So Narada could not succeed in achieving, in marrying winning the Swayamvar of that Mohini Kanya. Finally, he went and cursed the Lord. Then finally he was convinced that whatever the Lord has done, that is for the best for him, Narada. So because Ram Ram, he is now reciting the word Ram 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 Narayan. He is moving, but after marriage he will recite the word Kam Kam Kam. It was not good. So Lord has, whatever has been done by the Lord, it is fine. It is for the best of him. The thing is that then he wanted to take back his curse. Then this Narayan is speaking. Who are you to give me a curse? Who curse me, and who are you to take it back? What I intend that happens. That is what I intended to go back into this earthly soil, earthly atmosphere, to take back there, to play my role there. So it was you who was the media, who is the medium I choose. So you caused me. That is what, but nothing is there. So now I have intended, and everything has been, you have been instrumental. Through you, everything has been done. So nothing to worry. That is what I know. Anyway, mother quotes, the Lord is staging a play. See, if one looks attentively, Mother Course, one has to think that Lord is staging a fantastic play for himself. Everything is Lord's play. Whatever he is playing, whatever he is doing, that is his play. That the manifestation is a play. Very interesting, you will know. This manifestation is a play which he is acting for himself with himself. Manifestation is a play which he is acting for himself with himself. That is what. He has taken the stand of the spectator, and he looks at himself, standing as the spectator and looks at himself. And so, in order to look at himself, he must accept the concept of time and space. That's what he considers. Concept of time and space he considers. Otherwise, he can't. And immediately the whole comedy begins. Comedy, not a tragedy. That is the finally there will be a very union. There is a very happy end, big ending. But it is a comedy and nothing more. Initially, in between, whatever you see, whatever you find, finally the beginning will be like anything, but finally it is a comedy, and we take it seriously because we are puppets. We are just here. Author and actor is he with us for roles. That's what we are playing the roles. We are just puppets. But as soon as we stop being puppets, we can see quite clearly that it is a comedy. So here we are here only to pronounce the words, to speak out, to play out our parts. We want to describe the words, whatever has been written, and direct how it is directed. We are simply puppets there, and there is a question, of course, that is one thing. For some people, it is also a real tragedy. Thing is that, truly speaking, if you can be able to go through to understand, you will know it is a comedy, but for others, it is also a real tragedy. Yes, Mother discusses. We are the ones who make it tragic. We are the ones who make it tragic. It is not tragedy like this, not tragic at all. But the thing is that we who have made it tragic, that is what it has been the beginning. It has begun from like this, and this is our way of thinking and way of doing. So, of course, only the one who is watching the play is not worried. Who watches the play, he is not worried because he knows everything, and what is going to that is going to happen, and he has the absolute knowledge of everything because he is the creator. He knows, he has written, he has directed, he knows what is going to happen. But thing is that everything what happens, everything what is has happened, and everything what is going to happen, everything he knows because he is the author, actor, he is the doer. So he is the maker and the world he made. He is himself the actor and the act. He is himself the dreamer and the dream. He is himself the thinker and the thought. So everything he knows what is happening, what has happened, what is to happen, and what is about to happen. So everything he knows, and it is all there as one the presence for him, and it is also others, the poor actors who did not know even know. The actors who are playing their parts, simply they are standing on the stage to pronounce their role, to play their parts. They don't know, they are very much ignorant, they don't know. But the author and actor, he knows everything, he has seen everything. They don't even know their parts, and they worry a great deal. What is going to happen, how it is, of course, seems like a tragedy. But thing is that it is nothing as per his, because he is just totally, he does not know his parts, because they are going to be made to act something, and they don't know what is it. Authors and actors are with us, with who is author and actor, is he with us for roles. Whatever is there in the roles we have to play, we don't know the next part what is going to happen. So this is something that I have just feeling very strongly. We are all acting a play, but don't know what the play is, nor where it is going, nor where it comes from, nor what is the whole. We don't know what is going to happen, where it starts, where it begins, where it ends. What is the sequence? We don't know, and simply we are playing. We are worried, but the one who has prepared, planned, written. He is totally, he knows everything. Imperfectly we are moving, but he is perfect. So what are we supposed to do from moment to moment? Our knowledge is imperfect. We don't know. With imperfect knowledge we are moving, we don't know. And so we are worried. But when one knows everything, one is no longer worried, one smiles. So here, no, these are not mountains are not mountains, or rivers are not rivers. So tears are not tears, the smiles are not smiles, because he knows everything. He knows the ending, and this will be a happy ending or comedy. He knows, but actually, we are with our imperfect knowledge, we are worried a lot. So, no longer worry and the smiles. He must be having the great fun, but we have nothing to make fun, because we don't know where we are going, where we are leading, where we are going, what end we are going, it is going to serve, where we'll stop, that is what we don't know. And we are given a full power to amuse ourselves like him. So the thing is that life is a journey. We must enjoy it. We must not worry. We must not break our heads. We must enjoy that. With smile, we have to we have to tread the path, cross the untrodden region. That has been only explained. That has been that duty has been given to us. So again, Mother Course, we simply don't take the trouble. It is not our role, because the child is being guided by his father taking care. So God has given us to smile and to move on. And rest he will see. Simply our role is to smile and smile and smile, without taking weariness, agony, and this burden. So God stages, the Lord is staging a play, and finally the Lord plays with all that is. Thank you. Vande Mataram.